All right, let's jump right in. If you're prepping for that CA final audit paper, you already know professional ethics is a big deal. So consider this your lightning fast revision of all the key clauses from the Chartered Accountants Act of 1949. We're going to move quick, so let's get to it.
So how are we going to tackle this? Simple. We're breaking it down into 4 super quick sections. We'll hit both schedules, all structured to help you remember everything. Ready? Let's go.
Okay, let's kick things off with the first schedule, Part 1. Now remember, this part is all about CAs who are in practice. These first 4 clauses are all about setting boundaries. You could basically call them the don't mix with the wrong crowd rules. Bottom line, you can't let someone who isn't a member practice under your name, and you can't share your fees, take a cut of their profits, or even partner up with a non-member. It's all about keeping the profession pure. Now we get to the really interesting stuff, how you're supposed to get work. Clause 5 is basically the no shady deals rule. You gotta play fair. Then you have clauses 6 and 7, which are super clear. No soliciting clients and no advertising. And clause 8? Oh, this one's huge. It's about professional respect. You have to talk to the previous auditor before you take on a new audit. No exceptions. Okay, let's round out part 1. Clause 9 is about doing your homework. You've got to check for compliance with the Companies Act before you accept an audit. Clause 10 is a big one for independence, no charging fees based on a percentage of profits. Clause 11 is about focus, right? You can't just engage in any other business without getting permission first. And Clause 12, well, that's non-negotiable. Only you can sign your name. It's your seal of approval. All right, moving on. Let's tackle parts 2 and 3 of the first schedule together. This is where we broaden the scope beyond just CAs in practice to include those in service and, well, pretty much everyone. First up, part 2. This one's specifically for all the CAs out there who are in service, meaning you're an employee. The same basic ideas about not getting into shady financial deals still apply, just, in a job setting. Yeah, this is all about keeping your earnings clean. Clause 1 says you can't pay someone a slice of your salary, as a kickback. And Clause 2 is just the other side of that coin. You can't accept a cut from, say, a lawyer that your company hires. It's pretty obvious, right? It's all about avoiding conflicts of interest. Okay, now part 3. And listen up because this one's for everybody. Doesn't matter if you're in practice, in a job, wherever. These rules apply to every single member of the Institute. So what's this about? It's really about your relationship with the Institute and just being honest. Clause 1 is simple. Don't pretend to be something you're not. An associate can't call themselves a fellow. Easy. Clause 2 means if the Institute asks for info, you give it to them. And Clause 3, just don't lie when you're trying to get work. Be truthful. Okay, deep breath. We're heading into the second schedule now. And you can think of this as leveling up the seriousness. These are the big ones, the more severe types of misconduct. And just like before, we're starting with part 1, which is for CAs in practice. Man, these first 5 clauses, they are the absolute bedrock of our profession. Clause 1, confidentiality. It's a sacred trust. Don't break it. Clause 2, diligence. If you didn't check it, don't you dare sign it. Clause 3, no crystal balls. You can't put your name on earnings forecasts. Clause 4, independence. If you have a substantial interest in a business, you can't express an opinion on their financials. Period. And Clause 5, be transparent. You can't fail to disclose a material fact. And the next 5 really drive home your core duties as an auditor. Clauses 6 and 9 are all about proper reporting. You have to report misstatements and departures from procedure. Then you have 7 and 8, which are all about the quality of your work. Being grossly negligent or not getting enough info to form an opinion, that's a huge deal. And finally, Clause 10. This one's so simple but so important. Keep your client's money in a separate bank account, always. All right, we're in the home stretch now. Our final section, Part 2 of the second schedule. And you know the drill by now. Just like in the first schedule, this part applies to all members, not just practicing CAs. And whoa, these are some heavy hitters. Clause 2 basically extends that confidentiality rule to employees. Don't spill your employer's secrets. Clause 3, don't lie on forms you send to the Institute. Seems obvious, right? Clause 4 gets into criminal territory, embezzling money. And Clause 5 is about following the law. You can't act as an auditor if it goes against the Companies Act. And then we have what I like to call the ultimate catch-all, Clause 1 of Part 2. This one is incredibly powerful. It basically says if you break any rule in the CSA Act or any regulation or guideline from the council, well, that itself is professional misconduct. This is the clause that holds the entire framework together. And just like that, you've had a lightning revision. We've blasted through all the key clauses you need to have locked in. Use this as a quick way to shore up your knowledge. But before you go, think about that question on the screen. In the real world, which of these clauses do you think gets pushed to its limits the most often? Something to chew on. All right, good luck with your studies.